joining you on your radio this morning is Imbi themselves. Good morning.
Good morning.
You were mentioning just there, during COVID, obviously, you were missing that warehouse party and all of that. What does the music community mean to you as an artist?
Oh my God. I mean, it means everything. Hey, it's like support, it's affirmation, it's validation. It's the antidote to imposter syndrome when you can sit around with other musicians and speak about your insecurities and vulnerabilities as musicians in the scene of so-called Australia. It's been really hard to not have any of those conversations, and I didn't even realize how much of a toll it had taken on me until I got up on stage for the first time last week, and until I started having conversations with musicians again at a few social gatherings that have been happening. But yeah, it means a lot. Yeah.
And having that moment of oh yeah, this is part of me.
Fully. That was a huge thing. Because last year I was ready to give up on music. I was ready to just be this, I can't do this by myself. I can't make this work, especially not in the, political climate / just global health climate that we had last year. So I was ready to walk away. And then getting up on stage last week, it was just this huge oh goodness, I am so glad I didn't do that, because it being on stage nourishes me in ways that nothing else ever can. And I can't keep pretending that's not a thing.
Yeah, that's so true, isn't it? You can try and be I'll be fine, but actually it's bigger than that.
Yeah. Actually, my mental health was not good,
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you haven't given up. I've seen some cryptic clues on Instagram, Imbi, about a new project you might be working on. Look, I don't want you to reveal too much, but I've seen Slim Set get tagged. Is there anything you can tell us without getting in a twist?
I love that you asked me this, because I'm good at keeping secrets when they don't have to do with me. But I will be good at keeping this secret because it's about more than just me. I will say that it's something is coming that I think is maybe one of my favorite things I've ever worked on. It's completely different to what you've heard from me in the past. And it slaps. It just really, that's all I can say.
I will not press you anymore. I respect that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I'm so excited. You're really building the hype. So when it comes, people are going to be ready for it.
Heck yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. Speaking of collaborations, I mean, in the past, you've worked with a bunch of different artists. On that track, we just heard Super Ego. You've worked with Alice Ivy and Genesis Owusu.
Yeah.
I know you've told us what you can about this project.
Yeah.
Are there any other collaborations coming up that you have, that you can talk about?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm collaborating with a bunch of different artists at the moment. I'm trying really hard to concentrate mostly on collaborations this year. I think last year, obviously, we didn't have the option to collaborate in person, and I really, really missed that. And I realized this year how beautiful collaboration is and how mutually beneficial it is for, all artists involved. So I'm really putting an emphasis on that this year. I think there's a few really exciting collaborations coming up. I can't say too much on any of them, unfortunately. I'll tell you about them off air. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, it's going to be a really big year for collabs. I'm super hype.
Yeah, I love what you're saying there about, last year not being able to collab in person. So it's really stepping it up this year, bring back that connection.
Fully. I think everyone just the creative energy that you feel when you're connecting with another person and working on a project together. I mean, it's such a vulnerable space to be in. You have to really trust yourself and trust the other person and feel safe enough to bounce ideas around. And when you find that flow and you find that sort of vibe, I feel like it's it feels like nothing else, There's something really special about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so exciting.